Hey guys, in this video you will learn all about how vaccines can help you get immunized against pathogens. The process of vaccination is like a training program for your body. When you get vaccinated, your body is trained to fight against a specific pathogen or toxin. Imagine your body's immune system like an army force. Through years of training, your army force has learned how to counter attacks by various weapons such as guns, rifles, and grenades. If any enemy uses these weapons, your army knows exactly how to fight and win the war. But suppose the army now suddenly develops a new weapon, perhaps a missile bomb. Now your army is totally unprepared to fight against this new weapon. By the time your army can think and decide and come up with a plan to counter a missile attack, it would have already destroyed your army. So, what can you do to avoid such a scenario? You can have a missile training program for your army where they will learn how to handle missiles. The missiles used in the training program will be somewhat like the real missile but will not have its full destructive properties so that your army can learn in a safe manner. With this new knowledge, now if the enemy uses missiles, your army knows exactly what to do. Your army can counter the attack and effectively stop the enemy from destroying you. Vaccines also work in a similar manner. Vaccines can stimulate your immune system to generate immunity without causing serious damage to the body. Recall that immunity is the ability of a body to fight the pathogen. Let us now look at each of these steps. What is a vaccine? A vaccine is an inactive and safe form of the pathogen which can stimulate the immune system to generate immunity to that particular disease. Imagine this is the pathogen that is causing the disease. How can a vaccine be made for this? The first way is that it can be inactivated using methods such as heat or radiation or other harmful methods that will either kill it or make it inactive so that it cannot reproduce inside your body. Another way is to extract only the antigens or those parts of the pathogen that is sufficient to trigger an immune response from your body. A third method is to extract the antigen and use a harmless vector or a carrier to carry those antigens. There are of course more complex methods to produce vaccines as well, but that would be a whole different video. Now let us see what happens in the immune system. When you are given an injection of the vaccine of any form, it stimulates the immune system to produce antibodies. What are antibodies? Antibodies are special proteins that are Y-shaped, which are also called immunoglobulins or Ig. Antibodies bind to antigens at special sites on their structure called the antigen binding sites. These sites are present at the ends of the arms of the Y shape of the antibodies. This binding is highly specific, which means if an antibody has specificity to one antigen, it cannot bind to any other type of antigen. These antibodies are produced by special cells in your immune system called the B cells. When an antibody binds to an antigen, it signals that B cell to produce lots of that antibody and also to produce lots of copies of the cell producing the same antibody. This helps generate the immune response. With all these antibodies bound to the antigen, the cells of the immune system get triggered. They are signaled to find and destroy these antibody-labeled pathogens. There are many different cells that respond to this antibody labeling, such as phagocytes, which will engulf and eat the pathogen, mast cells and neutrophils, which will release antimicrobial compounds which harm the pathogen, and natural killer cells, which will release cytotoxic compounds and signal molecules to other cells of the immune system to increase the attack response. Once this whole battle has taken place and the enemy is vanquished by your army of immune cells, the B cells form memory B cells. These special cells will remember to produce the specific antibody in a much quicker time and in much greater quantity the next time they encounter the same antigen. So now when your body encounters the real pathogen, it doesn't have to go through the whole training process again. It is ready with the defense system and will quickly generate an immune response to quickly fight off the pathogen before it can cause the disease in your body. So remember guys, if you are not vaccinated, your body can take a lot of time to identify the antigens and then to start producing counterattack to kill the pathogen, and by the time the disease could have killed you. But if you are vaccinated, your body can now remember the antibodies that are needed to fight this pathogen because of the memory B cells and quickly generate an immune response to successfully fight the disease. You can now dazzle your friends with your newfound knowledge. Learn something new every day.